Well, hello, world. I'm your host tonight, and I have Linda Lemons and Mama Lyons with me tonight, special guests. We're discussing the deception that is going on right in front of us. So, how are you guys? How are you, Linda?
I'm okay. A little
And
tired from work, but I'm okay.
Mama Lyons, how you doing?
I'm good. Tired also.
Me too.
Yeah.
I
but
wasn't going to do this, but then, the more I find out here, me and Linda were just talking about, there's no content on my channel, and I have not touched my channel.
wow,
So
that's incredible, Tom. Like nothing at all?
she sent it to me. It says there's
Nothing.
no content on this channel. I had like, I don't know how many videos I made, a ton of them,
Yeah.
and they're all gone. So if anybody else, when somebody else may look at this, please
Hmm.
let me know,
I'm gonna
whether
check
my,
right now. Okay, let me find you here.
usually I'll have, you know, 4 or 5 different people in the chat room, but there's only one person that came in, Robert, and I hope he's still around because I'd like him to look too and to see what's going on, because this is crazy. It's
Hmm.
after 12. They were supposed to turn over the internet today, but maybe that's happened. I don't know.
Well, it's the whole. I can't see it happening that quickly, though. I mean,
Well, Brenda,
especially.
they've been
Well, they've had
censoring.
time to prepare. I mean, they've.
Right.
I'm
They've
sure
been
they're gung
preparing.
ho about it.
Well, I was thinking to myself yesterday, and I asked this question to some people over at Be Rich's channel. What would be the top three things that they would censor? And of course, we said truth and religion. I got stuck on a third one because truth is so subjective, right? So I don't know if that would happen right away
Uh,
because we don't know who's going to be controlling what. You know what I mean? Like we know it's the UN, but other than that, we don't really know the details, right?
well, I do kind of because it's topics. It's headlines. If you believe in the New World Order, or if you believe in end times prophecy, or if you believe in prepping, or any of those type of things, you're already a target.
Any conspiracy theories.
Right.
Hmm.
So those headlines is how they're going to. What's up, Jeremy? Is how they're going to censor it by the head, whatever you type in or
Yeah.
talking
So
about.
anything like anything anti-government or you know anything like that, and that's what I mean by truth. Truth is subjective to the listener, right? So what we might be saying might not be truthful in somebody else's perspective. So I don't know. I really don't know what to expect.
I don't know either. I'm just like, you know, she's telling me there's no content on my channel, and it's like, are you serious? I mean, I haven't touched my channel in since the last video I did
Yeah,
I
at
looked.
all.
the only
I
thing
looked like 3 times.
I'm seeing I'm seeing all your content here.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah,
Cause see, I
how
sent
is
him a
it?
picture. I took a screenshot of it where it told me this channel has no
no
content,
content.
and I sent it to him.
No, I have everything right down like 5 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, everything's there.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's just they're censoring me as usual. They're
That's
not
crazy.
letting me see certain shit. See? See, it's not a conspiracy theory if it's true.
Yeah, because I'm not
I
getting
don't.
that at all. That
That's insane.
is
Yeah,
crazy.
she sent it to me and it says no content.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, screw you, YouTube.
So how are they censoring?
Sorry.
Why are they picking on you, Linda?
Why is everybody picking on me? And poor little Jeremy. Jeremy's got pulled into it. He's officially had it. He's in the circle now. He's had a video made of him too. Bless his little heart.
I invited him on, so if he wants to pop in, he can anytime. And if anybody else, just let me know, Brenda or whoever. I don't mind having other people on, but the
Oh, I'm not
discussion.
even. But Tom, I'm not even a real person. That's just an avatar. You
Yeah, I
see.
know. I know. Like I haven't talked to you and seen you in person.
I know. I
That was all
know.
fake too.
Am I
Yeah.
missing something here?
No, you're not. You're not.
Oh,
It's just a little inside thing. Sorry.
oh, I see. Uh,
I got some haters out there.
oh, we all have haters. Somebody's
And
drinking the haterade.
I love the haters. Bless their hearts.
I
I
know.
hope they all wake up.
It's sad, especially when we're living in a world with so much animosity as it is. I mean, um, I don't tolerate pettiness, and I don't tolerate things that aren't important in the big picture.
Nobody has
No,
time for that shit.
mm-mm,
Nobody's got time for that.
no, no. Because I mean,
There's better
really,
things to do.
in my world, I got to worry about where my son's gonna live at 20. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know, those are the things that I have to worry about. In the bigger picture, I don't know where I'm gonna be fitting in. All I know is that my son needs to be somewhere safe and away from violence and corruption and you know.
yep.
So
Yes.
And what's crazy is, my intention was to talk about, what's going on in Syria and stuff, and the
mhm,
children over there, and the civilians that are being slaughtered for what? Because we
exactly.
fund we fund ISIS, we we say so-called moderate rebels, then we say give us some time and we'll separate the moderate rebels from the ones that are radical. Really? That, I mean, are you freaking serious? Are you joking me? Are you serious? I mean, our government says that, right?
Right,
And
right from the start, I was like, okay, I'm a little confused. I mean, it was just, I mean, from right from the get-go when they went in there, I was just like, okay, this doesn't even make sense, you know? And now, like, and they just keep going on and on and on with this stupid rhetoric. Like, we have, and then treat everybody like they're stupid. Like, obviously, we know you want Assad out. Why don't you just say so? And tell us what you're doing. Why are you, you know what I mean? Why are you putting on this act like you're going in and being all, hero like,
because you know that
spreading your damn democracy all over? I mean, I haven't even got democracy at home.
they have to because the American people, they knew the majority would be outraged.
How many
You
people
know,
do you really think don't know?
I think a lot of people don't know,
I
to be
think
honest.
I can't believe that. It's been what? How many years since 9/11?
But they won't even believe. See, and it's a normalcy bias. They're too busy watching football and Miley Cyrus or something.
I don't
Then
believe that anymore. I used to believe that. I don't believe that anymore. I
I
think
think
that a lot I mean,
normalcy
I've
bias.
been watching
See,
this for since it pretty much started. And the amount of people that have waken up is incredible. And the more and more and more and more people that are waking people up online, it's, it, I mean, I've seen 12-year-olds who are just as awake as anything. My 25-year-old is, unbelievably awake.
I
And I think we
agree.
don't. It's just that nobody has any solutions. That's the
Jeremy,
problem.
Jeremy,
No,
it's
people
Mama
here,
Lion.
they're still asleep. There's too many that are just, they don't give a shit. If it doesn't affect their daily life, they don't care.
Right. Have you ever watched a Mark Dice video?
Yeah, I don't like MySpace.
I don't really like them, but what
I
it's
kind of stay
doing is
away from it.
showing you how people don't even know who the vice president is. I mean,
Mhm.
there's what? How many? What is it? 300 million people?
Yes.
Over 300 million people live in this country.
Mhm.
So if you take an average of maybe 3%, maybe 5 now, because it has
Mhm.
grown, I do agree there is people waking up, but it's not a big enough number to affect any kind of change. You know what I mean? Um,
I think
I agree, Jeremy. I know,
it is
but it's just
in our. I mean, the only people that it doesn't seem to be affecting are the people that are still, you know, that are in the upper class range for one, and people who just. It's not that they don't care. It's their apathy means more to them, right? Where if they remain in the dark, it's easier for them to cope. Because you have to, when you wake up, you go a little nuts, right? I mean, nobody can deny that because you can't get out of it once you're in it. So people
right.
are so comfortable. People are comfortable. And it's not that they don't know, but everybody just doesn't have an answer. I can take my mother as an example. You know, she's not stupid. She's just, she's 65 years old, and her hands are like, so what do I do? All I can do is remain who I am, be confident in who I am, and live the rest of my life.
Right.
So I mean, we don't give people enough credit. We keep telling everybody we got to wake everybody up. We got to wake up. But what is the outcome of waking everybody up? Is that ever going to get everybody out on the street to make a noise? Is that, you know what I mean? We have to figure out, what is the end game? What is our solution? If we can't do that, you know what I mean? Then why, I don't want to make my mother uncomfortable for the rest
I
of her
think
life,
it's.
you know?
I know, and I agree. I think it's something that we have to do. Start with at the local level
Mhm.
more so than a bigger level. But if we could get the military and the top leaders of this country knowing, because see, here's the thing: look what Hillary commits all these crimes. The FBI is involved, okay,
Mhm.
and they're letting her. Everybody gets immunity. Well, I think when the military, because in a lot of other countries, the military gets involved.
Absolutely.
That's what they call a coup. But I think we need our military
Yep.
needs to start arresting people.
It would be the only way,
It's not going to
really.
happen. It's not going to happen. None of that is going to happen.
Because they purged the military. They've gotten rid of a ton of our top generals that were going against the system. We had our own military guys saying, "I will not be ISIS or Al Qaeda's air force" a
Hmm.
few years
Yeah,
back
I remember
when we
that. Yeah.
first tried to go into Syria
Yep.
because then they threatened a nuke would go off. Lindsey Graham did that. Said that there will be a nuke go off in Charleston Harbor, the New York Harbor, if we don't go to war. They were. It's unbelievable what these people do. So, and then they try to convince us that didn't work. But then they said, well, Assad gassed his own people, which was a false flag, to get the public to go along with what's going on in Syria. And people buy into it because they're still on the mainstream. They're not looking into what's really going on.
Mm.
That's right. They're
Well,
brainwashed. That's
Yeah.
all
I
there
think
is to
that I
it.
think they already know that the military is not going to turn on their own families That's why they're using, other means like the UN and, you know, other means to come in on the soil because they know that most people, you guys got guns. You guys ain't going down without a fight, and I'm pretty sure the military's not going to turn on their own family. I mean, you have to remember that it's not just their people, but when you go to a military man and said, "Look, we need you to take out your family because they're non-compliant," I'm pretty sure they're not going to go for that.
Right. That's why they have the UN.
Hmm.
Well, they've all taken an oath.
Right. To defend the Constitution from enemies,
Yeah.
foreign and domestic.
Period.
But a
But
lot
they're
of
not
them,
all going to do it.
a lot of them are young and green, and even in
And
Katrina.
brainwashed.
Yes, they followed orders in Katrina. They did go house to house and they confiscated.
Took guns. Yes,
That's right.
they did.
Yeah.
So there's a part of them that won't, but then
And then
there's
there's
the
a part
young
of
ones
them that will. Yeah, you're right.
that will. So,
Katrina was a little test, Tom. It was a test.
oh, I know.
Just to see how they could run the damn FEMA camps.
Mhm.
Some more geo-engineered weather, no doubt.
Right, modifying the weather and messing with the storms, and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, but what does it do us any good to know this stuff? I mean, sure,
So we could be prepared.
Yeah,
Right.
how are we getting prepared? That's what I'm saying. How are we getting prepared? I mean, I've done drills with my daughter about how we'll take out somebody if they come in to take us, you know what I mean? But I mean, we can physically prepare, but mentally, I don't know how well we're going to be prepared.
Oh, I think
You've got to start preparing now mentally. You already need
Well,
to start now.
yeah,
Well, here. Let me say this real quick. I think you have to first spiritually prepare, and then go from there. Like, okay, what can I do if something goes wrong? Or say there's a major power outage, or say there's a storm, or anything like that. What can you do? Well, I've done some of those steps, as many as I have been able to so far. Like
hmm
a hand pump well, generator that's not is in my building out back, that's wired to my house. I did all this stuff because in case I have to, the first thing to do is plug in, but then you might have to bug out, so you got to think about that too if you want to
yeah,
protect.
but I mean, that's after the fact. And what if somebody comes in your house and says, "We're taking you to FEMA camp," and somebody puts their hands on my child?
Right.
It
Well,
ain't going to go down pretty,
no, it's not. And then
right?
that's at the point where that's where your spiritual part comes in.
No,
Because you
I'm
have,
too reactionary for that, and I can admit that. I'm too reactionary. You put your hands on my child,
She has no. She has
I'm done. I'm done
mama
here.
without a useless.
Hmm.
well, I think that's the case. If someone tries to come after my family, I'm going to do whatever, even if they kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I
I
say
mean,
spiritually
and
first.
I have to be prepared for that, and I mean, I'm mentally prepared
Yes.
for that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the only thing you can do is mentally prepare yourself for a fight because
And while you're,
Right.
mama, while you're mentally preparing yourself for that fight, you've got to keep living your days like it's your last day and
I do.
just be happy.
I do. That's why I try and tell everybody, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's great to know all this stuff, but I can't let it hold me back. Like, I mean,
No,
you know, every day I have
no,
to live.
that's
So,
right. But you've got to remember as you're living, just got to remember
absolutely.
to keep on living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I stay positive. I mean, I stay positive every day, but I mean, the reality of the situation is this is out of hand. This is out of
Oh,
control.
it's so far out of hand. There's really not shit we can do about it.
Exactly. And I think if we
There's really
all
not.
start, if we all start getting in the mindset of survival instead of, you know, trying to stop it, you know what I mean? Because I mean, I was there at one time, you know what I mean? I was there. I've protested many times, but there comes a time when I realize, this isn't enough. Our voices are not strong enough. So
No, not at this time. I think that's why we keep trying to wake people up, you know,
yeah,
and trying to get them aware. But I think again, I think for me anyway, this is just me. Becky, what's up, Becky? For me, it's just a spiritual thing to begin with,
yeah,
and then once you're right with that, then no matter what happens, you know, whether you have to fight back or defend your family, it's okay whatever happens because you're on the righteous side of it. You know,
exactly. Like I refuse to give them my fear,
right,
so I just deal with it. You know, whatever. You know, if you're gonna do what you're gonna do, get done over with. Then
right,
I'm ready. You know.
sure. And then there's only so much we can do, so I think that's
Yeah.
the first thing is get right spiritually, and then
Mhm.
you know do what you can, you know, and let's live every day. Let's not let, yeah, like you just said, let's not
Mhm.
let the fear because that's what they're playing on is fear,
Hmm.
trying to
Yeah.
scare
And
everybody.
you can't think right when you're in fear mode either.
No. 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 I'll tell you, when I'm scared, like, you know, somebody calls in the middle of the night, you're not used to getting calls. What's the first thing you do? Your stomach sinks because you think something's wrong with one of your family members.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That kind of fear, you know?
Yeah,
And I don't know. And I think once you're awake too, you have more of an intuition too, you know, what to expect, you know what I mean? You kind of like, yeah, I know what's coming next. This is nothing, you know what I mean? So you kind of, it doesn't bother you as much when you see
right.
things on the news and this and that and the other thing. It's the same old stories, you know, rinse, wash, repeat, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think once you're awake, and you just
You can't go back to sleep.
can't go. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh, but some
So,
days don't you wish you could?
Yeah, I wish. Yeah.
yeah,
Like I always say, you know, the best vacation is a mental one, but doesn't really happen once you're awake.
no, it's like taking once you take. It's like in the Matrix. Once you take, you choose. You know, the red or the blue
There's no
pill.
going back. Yeah.
No one. Yeah, there's no going back.
No.
So but we can be positive.
Mhm.
And like Jeremy was saying before, sometimes you have to unplug. You know, step
Yeah.
away
Oh
from
yeah.
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know, go out, be in the woods, have some fun. You
Mm.
know, go boating, go
Yep.
fishing, do those things that are normal, even though we know how messed up and how much evil is in this world.
Yep.
You definitely got to unplug sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, if nothing, just to get away from the damn waves that come off the damn Wi-Fi and shit. I mean, I'm serious. That stuff really affects people.
Yeah.
I've been trying to educate Tom a little bit about frequencies and things. I hope he's getting it.
Mhm.
But it really,
I've been feeling
it
weird. It's things happen. You know, I think you're right.
yeah,
You know, I felt weird all day today. I think it's that
yeah. It's that
black,
black
black
moon.
moon. Yeah,
We all
something.
got a bit addicted to it. I mean, regardless, I mean, we've all been a little addicted to the Wi-Fi. We've all been
Hmm.
addicted to the connection. I mean, we've lost our own human connection, basically, um, because it's so easy to connect, you know, through the internet.
True.
Right. Well, you know what's messed up is when you're sitting there eating dinner and you're watching a husband or wife or boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever
Hmm.
sitting next to each other, texting each other.
Uh, uh,
All you have to do is turn their head and go, honey, whatever. No, I watched that one day and I was like, you joking me? You know what I
That's my
mean? They're
pet peeve.
texting each other.
It's my pet peeve. I'm telling you, if I'm sitting there and I'm having a conversation with somebody and they're just looking at their phone and they're not really hearing me, oh my God. Oh,
And do you know how much that happens? It happens so much in, people are so in tune to their phone, they can't hear anything you're saying. They can't put it down for a minute and actually engage in a real conversation. Because they're too busy playing Candy Crush. Or I'm nothing against it.
yeah. And then
but
they have
post-
the nerve, and then they have the nerve to look at you and nod like they listen to every word you just said.
Yeah, and if you ask them, what did I just say?
They can't tell
They
you.
couldn't answer.
Oh, I wasn't listening. Yeah, you think?
Right, exactly. So it's interesting how the how they put these tools out.
Hmm.
Well, they think it's in their advantage because, and it kind of mostly is because people aren't going to use the tools to find out information. They're just going to use it for those reasons in the masses. So it's a double-edged sword,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah, it is. It is. I don't think there's an easy answer for anything. But I mean, I'm comfortable with my knowledge and I'm comfortable with, what to expect and, so all we can do is take personal responsibility for ourselves, right?
Right,
So,
right.
as much as I'd love to wake up the world and, do everything like that, they have, like I said to Mike, you just got to everybody's got to come to it on their own time, in their own, you know what I mean, in their own way. Once it affects them in a certain way, just like it did, something happened that affected me that brought me into reality, you know. Everybody has their own time and their own place to come into this, and I have, I guess I have to be respectful of that and be compassionate for it. You know what I mean? I don't like to call people sheep and you know what I mean, this and that and the other thing, because I have to have compassion because I was once there too.
Sure.
You know?
Exactly. I feel like it's like planting a seed. I try to just plant a seed
Absolutely.
and then just water. Don't
Keep
overwater
watering
and
it.
don't
Yeah.
over fertilize.
Oh, it's just like teaching a child. You plant the seed and you watch it grow.
And hopefully you can without burning it up, or flooding
Mhm.
it out.
Yeah.
So too much water is bad. Too much fertilizer is bad.
And some people can't handle it. And some people just can't handle it. Some people
No.
just can't do it. Like I would overwhelm my mom so much she'd have breakdown.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
And you just got to
Right.
let them be in their own little world. You can't push it on people.
Absolutely. No.
I mean,
Absolutely.
they'll be the hope. Maybe I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't even know what to think.
Yeah.
Well, you think about your family, right? You try
Yeah.
to wake your
Absolutely.
family up. You try to help your family and your friends and neighbors and all that, which I've done.
I'll tell you what. I do know that all these people that call us damn crazy, we're gonna be standing there one day going, "I fucking told you so.
Well, I think
Told you
they'll,
so."
yeah, I think they're going to realize eventually that, we were right and we were kind of not about everything, but we were in tune to what's coming
No, and
and
I
what's
think that's
happening.
important. I think that's important to know that we really don't know. I mean, we know, but we really don't know because we
No.
haven't been there yet.
Right.
We're not there yet, so we don't know what the outcome is going to be, and nobody can even try and pretend that they know. If anybody tells me that, oh, this is where we're going to be in 10 years, I'd call them a liar because
Sure.
we're not there yet,
Right.
you know.
Good point. Good point. Because when people do that, I turn away from them because they don't know and I don't know. All I know is what's going on now.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it's going to lead exactly because I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
I wish I did, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not apathetic to say that, oh, we'll be fine, because I'm not that certain either. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But we might be okay, but we just don't
Yeah.
know. What they're planning behind the scenes. We're not sitting in those secret meetings and stuff, so we don't know what they're doing. With the financial systems and everything else,
Absolutely.
we really don't know.
All we can guarantee is that it's going to be different.
Right.
It's going to be different than it is today. My granddaughter is going to be in a different generation, a whole different system
Oh
than
God.
what I am today. And,
Oh, oh.
you know,
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it's gonna be like if it happens?
hmm
Yeah,
no,
with the chips and the
Oh,
The,
fuck that.
I think I think that's the uncomfortable part of it, though, is because we are resistant to change. We are resistant. We're human, right? We and we've been so stuck in the system that we're in. We can't imagine anything different, better for better or for worse. You know what I mean? We don't know, and that's the uncomfortable part about it. Is the unknown.
yeah. I
Hmm.
think that you see the elite and what they're doing, and they're running around, you know, causing all this destruction in the world to bring it down because they have to bring in a new system, they think. And unfortunately, they gain off of that at the same time. They gain on the way down, and then they'll bank off of that, and then
Hmm.
they'll gain on the way up. They
Yeah.
just they have it all figured out. This goes back thousands of years. Um, so either way, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I never thought that there would be something called quantitative easing. You know, when we started
Right.
printing more money. I mean,
One,
I
two,
didn't,
three, four,
I
five.
didn't know that. I was like, what is this now? You know, when it
Yeah.
first came out, I was like, what are they doing now? You know, because
Right.
I thought it was going to crash. You know, and then they came up with that. I'm like, just kick the can down the road. It's a
For
house of
sure.
cards.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jeez.
Well, I think I don't know, and I mean we look at other parts of the world like Venezuela and Germany and everywhere else, and we see utter chaos, and that is a scary thing to see when we're
Well,
sitting
we're
in our
teetering on the edge
homes.
of chaos.
Right. We've never seen that here. We've never. I'm in Canada. You guys are in the States, but we've never seen that level of chaos.
You'll see it happen to us
So,
before it happens to you.
mm,
Probably so.
I don't know. You guys are tough cookies down there, eh?
Shit, we are. I'm in the
Uh,
South. I'm definitely a tough cookie.
we're tough. We're tough cookies, but that
Yeah,
it.
Tom's a Southerner too.
Have you seen our Prime Minister?
Yep.
Yep.
I know. I
Mm-mm.
know. I feel you, and we're kind of connected in a way. So
Mm,
although we've been able to keep our Second Amendment and we've been able to do some other things here, it's still crazy because of the economics and stuff. If you look at that, how much money we owe, we're a debtor nation. All our jobs have gone overseas.
yeah.
They continue to do this. They're selling this country out, and it's sick because it's like they got to bring us to our knees too. And to
Mm,
me, it's about the new world order. It's about
yeah.
bringing in, the new world order.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we once we understand what that new world order is, I mean,
Well,
I
which is just
I've read
what
the
it is. Go ahead.
no, I mean I've read the documents of the agenda since it came out, Agenda 21. And I mean that was a long read and trying to figure out, through you know, all the nice words they're using, sugar coated code. Um,
Agenda 21's already started.
oh yeah, it's been going for a long time. We even have
Yeah.
ICLEI, we have everything here. I
We
mean,
can talk to the Bundys about Agenda 21 and the Hammonds.
hmm yeah.
Getting a 30.
Well,
And
look what's happening in with the pipelines and everything else, eminent
Hmm.
domain and all that garbage. And it's unbelievable, you know.
And they want to kill, like, I don't know, how many, Tom? How many horses was it?
40,000.
I know,
40,000.
I know. That's just unbelievable. I heard that they have found a sanctuary for most of them, though.
I hope
I
so,
hope so.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
I
That
don't
just
see.
that shows how low these people are. They have
They
no
don't.
value for any form of life.
Well, they got the big old tanks and guns all out there in North Dakota right now, and
Oh, we got UN troops on the ground here in various
oh yeah,
places.
yeah,
We
yeah.
had four, I think they were called A-130,
Hmm.
like military airplanes coming. I work at the airport, come into the airport
Right.
just this week
Mm.
and couldn't find out anything about it. Didn't know why they were there, didn't know
Yeah.
what they were doing. And I don't work for TSA. I want to make that very fucking
Right.
clear. Okay? I'm just a bartender.
But who's landing on?
I just get you drunk enough so you can deal with the TSA.
That's right. That is damn right. What happens is you come to me after they search you and they violate you and they touch you, and it's like it's always they do it to me. They scan my liquor. They scan my ice. I get violated on a regular basis, and it's always a woman. It can't ever be a man. It's like they plan it. It's like, okay, here's a woman, so let's let this woman. I mean, I'm tired of women filling me up every day.
Right?
Can I get a man? Can I please just get a man? Shit.
You should put in your request.
I told one of them today I had to go through the scanner and it beeped. And I said, oops, I got a Muslim in my pocket. A couple of them didn't like that, but one of them did.
Look down and see if you got a fuse sticking out of your shoe or something.
Oh, listen, you can't joke about that shit. They'll take you to jail. I mean, I was pushing it saying that for real. I was saying it to the one that I knew. And we've already had a talk. So I knew she was cool. And I was like, I got a Muslim in that pocket. Oh, my
Well,
gosh.
here's the thing. I have to correct something. You have a radical Muslim in your pocket.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Because they're not all bad.
No,
You know what I
it's
mean?
not. Mm-hmm. Not at all.
They're not.
You two are just nicer than me,
There's
and that's
a, there's a
okay.
boogeyman right now.
Well, no, it's
Like I
because
said, I don't give them my fear, so
they want to
they don't
lump.
have any power over me, so I don't fear them.
They want to lump everybody in categories.
Yeah.
It's the same thing they do with religion and everything else. They divide. Look what's going on with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, well,
it's
if they
the
could
same
properly
thing.
vet them, then
Fine, that would be
I would
okay.
be different about it. But right
Sure.
now, nobody knows,
Hmm.
That's it.
and that's
They don't
why
want us
I'm
to
the
know.
way I am. And
But
I'm
they don't
sorry.
want anybody to know what they're doing
No,
because
I know.
they need us to be scared. That's why I refuse to give them my fear, because they need us to be scared, so we'll comply. So, I mean, they haven't won over me yet. They'll win over me when they put their hands on my child and I have to fight them. That's when they'll win.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You see, that's what it is about fear. Most people don't even realize, that the average person that's here. Now, there's some bad goings, okay, with the Muslim stuff, but I've met some really good ones too, and they actually believe in Christ. They just don't believe he's the Messiah, but they believe he was a high prophet and one of the highest prophets. And they're not against that. So there is this weird division. There's radical, yes, and I believe that we should be closing our borders and not letting, because we're letting ISIS in. It's the same people we created, the same radicals that we're funding, we're allowing to come in to do these attacks. It's all being done on purpose.
Well,
And so,
we've had Muslims in Canada for over 40 years, and they've never affected my life. And I can't believe, just all of a sudden they're going to start affecting my life. I refuse to live like
I've only seen two where I'm
Mm.
at. I'm in
wow.
the South, and I've seen two.
Oh, wow.
well, we have them here
So
in Florida.
I'm good.
We have lots of them here, and we have a lot of converts here too.
Well, what we get here? We get a lot of Haitians. We get a lot of Guatemalans. We get a lot of Mexicans. We get a lot of Muslims. But the thing is, here's the thing that the big problem is. So we're letting them in and they're using our system because they're getting food stamps and welfare and all that stuff. And you're taking their food stamp money and they're going to like Sam's Club and using it to buy soda. They have a business. They have
How is that? But Tom, how is that affecting you personally?
Well, it's not, but but
Exactly.
it's a
So why
taxpayer.
complain about it?
But it's a taxpayer. It's affecting everybody because it's the taxpayers' dollars that they're taking and using to make a profit off it, and that is wrong. Okay,
Do you
that
really
should
believe that? Do you really believe that
that
your
actually
taxes
happened.
pay? Do you really believe that your taxes pay for the welfare system?
Some of it,
I think you should go up and pull it up on your, your government website and see where all your money's going. I'll bet you most of it's going to the military. Maybe 1 or 2% might go to welfare, but most of it's going to the military. So why we got to dig on the poor people who need
I'm
the
not. I'm not.
assistance?
I'm not.
You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
digging on them.
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I think people that need help need help.
Yeah.
But I think they are taking advantage of it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to prove that to me
I
because
see it all the time.
I'm not going to knock on somebody else's game just because they might be making a little money on the side.
Well, no.
You
I
know?
see it all. I see it all the time where my neighbors were selling, 50 cents on a dollar,
Hey, but
for the
we
food
have
stamps and stuff
corrupt
like that.
government. We have a corrupt government who steals millions and trillions of
Oh,
dollars.
sure.
I'm not
I,
gonna.
I agree. I agree,
Hmm.
and I understand. But there are people, if you ever look up some of the videos,
Mhm.
where they won't go to work because they go, well, why should I work when I get all this stuff?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
what's the purpose? They can smoke weed all day and lay around and not go to work.
Oh, geez, I know so
Meanwhile,
many people like that. I know
meanwhile,
so many people like that.
there's a lot of people like that.
Well, there's no jobs for one. And for two, if we created jobs together and made jobs for each other, I think we'd all be much happier. If we started using our skills for each other and helping each other, I think we'd all.
Well, I
Um,
think so, but I mean, I just see that the class of, and it's sad. Okay, it's very
mhm,
sad. I see it, and my neighbors were doing it, and you know, to buy drugs. Okay, and
mhm,
it's not cool when they're getting that money every month and they're not taking care of their kids.
mhm,
They're using it for drug money by selling it for 50 cents on the dollar. Um,
mhm,
People are using it to go and buy things for their own store. They're buying it at Sam's Club for cheap, and then
mhm.
they're going and they're marking it up off of food stamps to
Yeah,
make a profit.
yeah.
I don't think two wrongs don't make a right, okay? In my opinion.
No.
So
It's amazing what people
that's,
do for survival, though.
well, but they don't have to do that to survive. But
In this economy, I can't blame anybody for
listen,
making a buck. I can't.
I live off of nothing, okay? I
Me
barely
too.
I barely make a I but see here's the thing. Morally, I wouldn't do that
Mhm.
because it's a wrong. It doesn't make it right. It's a wrong.
No, but it doesn't affect my life either, right? All I can do is do what I do. But I'm not going to begrudge somebody else.
Well, I'm not begrudging. I just don't like to see that happen. I don't condone it when people are doing those things, and they
Hmm.
should be focused on their children. They should be focused on their family instead of
If
locking
they're
them up
if
in
they're
rooms
if
and
they're
stuff.
using their food stamps and getting stuff and buying it and then reselling it, I mean that's no different. People do it online all the time with couponing and stuff like that. They buy a bunch of stuff with couponing, and then they resell it on the internet. People are doing that all over the place. You know what I mean? And like I said, I live off next to nothing with my child.
I
He's
don't get any
completely disabled,
assistance.
so I I I
But
mean,
here's the thing:
I don't either.
I cannot get any assistance from anything. I worked 5 years the same job. They won't even because I was a contractor. I
hmm
had to sign a document said that I couldn't even get unemployment. Which was in the
Oh,
fine print.
hmm
So I can't even get any assistance. But yet, this is a government problem
yeah,
where they come over here, they get all this money every month, but yet I'm an American. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
I can't get anything.
So be angry at the people that are doing it, not the angry people that are getting it, because they don't know.
Right. Because they don't know. I understand. It's only when they do wrong with it that it upsets me because I see the abuse of children.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
On the
and
daily.
locked
On
in
the
bedrooms.
daily.
Oh my God,
Mm,
I've seen it.
yeah,
It's so bad.
I see it
And
all over.
I don't condone those type of people. The
Mm-hmm.
people that I have respect for are the ones that are just barely making it by and they're being honest. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And good, trying to be good people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I respect.
Yeah. I try and be compassionate and try
Me
and
too.
understand. Like I said, I can't wear everybody's shoes, so I try and be as compassionate as I can for a situation that I know nothing about, you know. And
Right.
everybody wants the same, I think, out of life, and everybody's paths are different. So I think once we stop um, trying to figure out, why is this person got and I don't, and why is this happening? You know, I don't know. I just if it doesn't affect my life directly, I just I don't know. There's to me there it's such a bigger issue because there's always underlying issues on the issue that is bothering you. There's always underlying things and factors that we don't know. You
Yeah.
know, so.
Well, I think the government at this point is making this happen
Hmm.
so that these people will be dependent on them
Hmm.
on purpose because
Oh
they're
yeah.
dumbing down the kids, they're dumbing down society. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want you to be able to go out and do anything. So they want you dependent on them so they can control you. But I also feel sad. I feel bad because I know that's the case. There's
Yeah.
a bigger problem. But
Hmm.
then at the same time, I don't like when people it, take advantage of that system because people do it all the time.
Yeah.
They're driving around in nice cars and they're, getting free stuff when they know it's wrong. That's all I'm saying. I'm not against. I'm a humanitarian. I love humanity. All people, all walks of life. Not against anybody.
Right.
I believe in you know everybody should come together as humanity and stop letting these elites play us against each other. They're winning because we can't do that.
But the
Makes me
reason that we can't come together is because we're saying things like, well, you get from the government that we don't get, and I've been here all my life. You know what I mean? That's the reason why we can't come together. It's those small little biases
well,
and
no.
beliefs and understandings and feelings that are making us so divided. And
Well,
as subtle as that might sound, you know what I mean? It's those small little biases that are
well,
going to keep
no.
us separated.
You're right, and I can come together with people who are having a hard time,
Hmm.
and as long as they're being genuine people, because there's a mob mentality out there, and those people are the ones
Absolutely.
you're going to be fighting against when something goes wrong because
Hmm.
they want to take, and they don't want to have any. They don't have any um, respect
Hmm.
for others.
Oh, I
They
have
don't
people,
care about humanity itself or anything. They're
I have people
going
like that in my own. I have people like that in my own family.
right,
You
right.
know,
Me too. Me too.
we
I
all
do
know a
too.
few.
I do
Sure.
too. My own family doesn't even talk to me
Hmm.
anymore. Excuse me. Sad as that is,
Yeah.
they don't talk to me because I'm awake, obviously,
Hmm.
and I believe in humanity as a whole. It's just that we've been manipulated and brainwashed so much and controlled and contrived that I don't know how we're going to get that back.
Yeah.
It used to be back in the day, if you needed a loaf of bread or some bread or some eggs or something, your neighbor would actually help you out. You need some
Yeah.
sugar? Oh, no problem, bro. I got some here. Today people don't talk to their neighbors, and
No.
until something bad happens, then everybody's in the street, you
Hmm.
know, going, "Hi, how are you? I'm your neighbor." Well, why? What is it? Why does it take that for us to come together?
Yeah. Yeah. And now if you ask somebody for, if you went next door and asked for a cup of sugar, they'd be wondering why. What do you know what I mean? They got, what is she after? It might be,
Right.
it might be sugar today, but it might be bread tomorrow. They always got, everybody's so suspicious of each other,
Sure.
you
And I
know?
help people, man. And I don't hate to say that.
Hmm.
I care about people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And I will do things for people and try to help them when they need it. But I don't want any credit for it. I don't. Please don't. I didn't even mean to say that. Just like that.
Mm.
It's just that happens, and then you'll find out who people are
Yeah.
because a lot of people are just takers. They're one
Um,
sided.
can you resend Linda the chat or the hangout?
I don't know what happened to it.
She said it dropped and she can't get back in, so you gotta resend it to her.
Okay, yeah, well, got it right now. So I don't really know, why those people are takers like that, and I pray for them. Trust me, I do,
Hmm.
because it says pray for your enemies, and I, I want those people to be okay, and I care about them. I
Hmm.
truly do. I had a neighbor like
Absolutely.
that, and I kept helping him, helping him, helping him.
Mm.
Trying to straighten him out, talking to him.
Hmm.
I did everything. I've given him money and all that,
Yeah.
and he just could not respect it. He could not. I had to cut him off. I had to turn away from
Yeah. And sometimes we have to do that.
him.
Sometimes we have to do that.
So it's not about like trying to. I try to reach out,
Hmm.
but if they don't accept it or they're a person that isn't in the right place, then I can't help them.
Hmm. Yeah. And that comes to a point. I mean, there's so many things I'd love to say I would do. I'm not going to help them anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I never do. I'm just that type. I'm just that type of person. But uh, sometimes we have to. Sometimes we have to, not just for their own good, but our own good. You know what I mean? So we stay sane, and sometimes we enable people that without, unknowingly causing them more damage. The more we help, right?
Right, exactly.
Hmm.
You okay, Linda?
Yeah, I was gone there for about 10 minutes.
I
Yeah.
didn't know what happened. I thought you just left, and I was like, oh, maybe something happened.
Um, It just kind
They're
of
mess, they're
dropped me.
messing with it.
They're picking on you again, Linda.
Oh
Yep.
God, this is just, I mean, it makes you think that now.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, and the reason I had to get a new phone is because somebody got into my phone, and I wouldn't do social media through a personal computer.
Mm,
That's just not going to happen because of reasons just like that. So I ended up having to get a new phone.
mm,
So I don't know.
Trying to keep it separate. I understand that because there are so many attacks, and guess what? Today's the day, right? Mark this down on your calendar.
mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, dude.
you know, what's going to happen after this, I don't know. God, I don't know. She
All I
said,
think it
"All
was
my
like, I think it's funny that it's called like I can see you. I can see you.
Yeah, still, Tom. Whenever I dropped the Hangouts dropped and I couldn't get back in, I went to go see if I could pull up the video, and that's the only video that was showing on the page I went to was the one that you were doing right now, and there was nothing else.
Wow.
something's up with that." I mean, because that's crazy. I'm gonna have to ask some more people. I don't know if anybody else, Jeremy or, or Brenda or anybody, can look and just see. and let me know whether you're seeing my whole thing or what, because that's weird. Why would
Yeah.
you only be the one that's not seeing all the content? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And why wouldn't it go through on the telephone? Why did it? I could only send it through Google.
And it's not only that you're not seeing it, but you're getting a message that's saying that he doesn't have any content.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I took a picture and I sent it to him through Google Plus.
Yeah, I saw. I'm like looking at that, going, what? It's saying it's showing my channel, and there's no content. It says this channel has no content.
Wow, I'm not getting that at all.
So is it targeting? What's up with that? Jeremy, what's up, brother?
Mm.
Hey, hold on one sec.
Oh, we got Jeremy on. Oh, Jeremy.
Hey, am I coming through?
Yeah.
Yep, you're coming through, bro.
Sweet.
How are you, man?
Poor
Good to have you on.
Jeremy.
How are you? Hey, that's fun. Linda was lagging a little bit. It sounded slow motion when she was just saying hi to me.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. Is it lagging still?
It is lag. Is it lagging? Is Linda lagging for anybody else, or is it just me?
It is.
No, I heard it too, bro.
He sounds
Okay.
right.
That's just freaking weird. I've been having issues with Hangouts.
She sounds right drunk when she talks.
Well,
Arr.
do
It's
you,
okay now, though.
Linda? Are you using a Mac or a Windows machine?
Hell no, I'm not going to do that. I've already been hacked. I'm not letting anybody near my personal computer.
No, I know,
Nope.
but what are you using to get on Hangouts?
Oh, I'm just using an Android phone.
Oh, you're on a phone. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm old school.
All right. No, that's cool.
Yeah. No, I've already learned my lesson.
Yeah, I have to use an iPad because my mic on my PC doesn't work.
The dog
So
broke
what's
the
up, brother?
iPad.
What's up, Jeremy? You know, what's going on out there? What are your thoughts, man? I want to hear from you.
Oh, wow. Well, there's a lot of thought lately. I mean, there's a lot that is going on, and there's quite a few distractions, you know. Besides just this little world of YouTube, and Linda made mention of it a little while ago about the videos that are being made about various different people and stuff like that. You know, honestly, that stuff doesn't even faze me. I just kind of chuckle at it because really I look at it as the guys are just having fun for the most part.
For sure.
But
I don't know about that, Jeremy.
well, I mean, I know that they're saying some things, and you know, but it's so funny because you know,
Jeremy, this has been going on since January with the same people.
oh, I know. The video he made about me the other day was really, I mean, it made me laugh because he tied me into Stratfor and being associated with Alex Jones, and it was just a scream, you know. I'm just cracking up going, man, I'm definitely not that complicated.
Well, did
Yeah,
you not know I'm a
I'm over
federal
here.
agent?
I don't know what all, you know what I mean. I get the gist of what's going on, but because I don't know, I'm not in that circle. So, but to me, it just seems like, why is everybody so paranoid about each other?
Well, because that's the age that we're living in. We are in it, but we're also in a real, I mean, I'm cynical. We're in an age of cynicism, and and because of the amount of information that's available to our fingertips, and because of that, it's given rise to so many people that think that they are quote unquote researchers and investigators, and they can tie all these pieces together. I know, but there are people that think that they are, and they're putting two and two together, and they're really making five. They're not making four.
Right.
And they'll jump to all of these conclusions, and so.
And it's so cutthroat.
Well, it is, and the thing, and you know, this movement, but you know, I'm not surprised because of what has gone on in the alternative media. The alternative media has been built on conspiracy and debunking the debunking, and
Yes.
and then you have YouTube, which is the wild west of the internet, and and all of these self-proclaimed researchers and where everybody has an epiphany every 2 minutes, and it just cracks me up.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It does. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And I get this feeling, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, did he just say that? Like, seriously? And they believe it. And that's the thing. They're so they believe it. And I'm sorry, but when you tell me that my life is a lie, even though I've experienced my life, you know what I mean? When you're telling me that my life is a lie, I'm gonna get, a little pissed off. I'm gonna get a little pissed off, Oh, don't believe that this is happening to you because this guy's really responsible for it. Meanwhile, I should be taking responsibility for my own life and not setting it on the feet of Soros. You know what I mean? I don't blame Soros. I don't blame Soros for my actions. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think a lot of people tend to, not realize that when they're actually saying stuff like, well, BLM is run by Soros, so everybody that's on the street that is protesting is a part of that conspiracy, is a part of that. It's so silly.
Mama,
they just jumped right into Soros's playground, as far as I'm concerned, because BLM doesn't speak for me. BLM has nothing to do with my life. But if I decide to go out there for a protest against police brutality, they're going to label me BLM.
Mm-hmm. True.
Meanwhile, I'm standing up because my son is autistic and Black. You know what I mean? I'm petrified for his life. That would be my driving point, not no BLM. People get involved in things for their own reasons. And people tend to, overlook that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with practically everything you just said. But what I notice about the movement of alternative media is that the alternative media will tell you'll have everybody marching to the same beat saying, hey, don't listen to your TV. Mainstream media news is inaccurate. It's programming and blah, blah, blah. Well, we get that. However, if I put a video out on YouTube, you have to believe that, and everybody will take those things at face value.
Absolutely.
And that's what blows my mind. It's like, wait a minute, you're so anti-TV, but somebody puts something out on the new form of TV, and then that's supposed to be true. And it's like, give me a break.
Absolutely. We all live in our own realities. I mean, our brains are meant to absorb the things that we experience in our own lives, and we interpret it from those experiences. You know what I mean? I can't read or watch something on YouTube and apply it to my life without question.
Well, and Mama, because I, like, for myself, speaking for myself, I've been somebody since, kind of everybody kind of came together, I guess you could say, organically in around December, January.
Yes.
And I have been, for a while, I was quite a bit of a black sheep because I questioned stuff, and I questioned people, and I would say certain things. And I had literally a very prominent member of this movement, if you will, that was telling people that I was a federal agent of the United States government.
Wow.
I know who the person is. I've spoken with them directly on the phone about 2 months ago.
Right.
And so, but it was an absolute mind blower. And that was all because I did not march to the beat of the groupthink.
Absolutely.
I wasn't allowed to have my own existence.
Groupthink.
Yeah.
Groupthink.
Imagine that. Groupthink? What's wrong with you, brother?
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, honey, they say I'm a federal agent too. I'm working to deceive the internet.
Yeah, well, all I can say is that for all of us that we are going to have some really kick-ass pensions down the road, right?
No shit. And
But
why am I slinging drinks for 10, 11 hours at a bar?
Yeah, no kidding. But But you know what, gang, I have been, besides all that, side stuff to keep us distracted and divided,
Mhm.
I have been watching this stuff that's going on between the US and Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell you, I am tripping out. I'm really thinking that somebody is gonna, I mean, it feels like we're, how when you're about ready to step off of a sidewalk onto the street and you're going off the curb, and that moment right before you kind of teeter, it
Pull
feels,
back.
yeah, I feel a permanent teeter right now.
You feel it physically, Jeremy?
For real.
Oh, definitely. I
See,
haven't.
Tom?
Yeah.
See, Tom? We're not the only ones.
Yeah.
Not the only ones.
Yeah.
That's what this whole show was going to be about. Was about what we're doing in Syria, ISIS.
Yeah, me and Tom were talking about that.
This is what this was supposed to be kind of about. Was the fact that we fund them, we aid them, we bombed Syrian troops to give them better ground. We said that we were going to basically take the moderates and separate them from the radicals and all this other garbage. Meanwhile, they get up there on the debates and say, "Well, how do we fight ISIS?" I mean, come on, you really the boogeyman?
Well,
Come on, guys.
yeah, and the trippy part is about the fight with ISIS is, and I know that I'm not really saying anything new to this group, because this group thinks and we all are informed, at least try to be. And so, but when you are talking, like I was just talking to somebody earlier today about, the US, Russia, and ISIS, and I said, here's what's interesting. Do you realize that the United States and ISIS are trying to accomplish the same goal in Syria?
Yeah.
I mean, does that bother you?
Well, that's what I just said. Like when
Yeah.
I first went in there, I was trying to figure out who the enemy really was, because they wanted Assad, and ISIS is fighting for the same thing, but they want ISIS, and you know what I mean? Like, I was
Well,
just like, okay.
again, you have to go back to Lindsey Graham
Mhm.
saying there was going to be nukes going off in Charleston Harbor if we don't
Right.
attack
Mhm.
ISIS. Well, or Syria, excuse me.
Yeah.
So the threat was a threat to the American people. Hey, we have to do this, otherwise this is going to happen.
Mhm.
That didn't work because of the military. That's when they started purging our top leaders and generals and Navy admirals and stuff out of our military so that they can continue. But they realized that wasn't going to work, so that's why they had to fund ISIS and create, this rebel group, this proxy war over there to take Assad down, because they didn't have our permission as American citizens, basically our support. So that's why this has been going on, and they're still doing it.
Oh yeah, well, they
Today,
gotta cry wolf. How many
They're
times
not
can
gonna
they
stop.
cry wolf? I mean, we all
How
know
many
the
children have died?
stories, right?
How many Syrian children and civilians have died over this?
Well, and you look at the famous area called Aleppo that that everybody's learned about since Gary Johnson didn't know what it was,
Yeah.
and and so Aleppo, from what I read, was a city that had over 2 million people. Now there are only 50,000 approximately left. It doesn't mean that they've all been killed. It means that so many people migrated out of there.
Exactly.
And the West wants their pipeline, and everybody knows it. Now, what is interesting that I read about a couple days ago was that what if Russia made a deal with Syria, and basically Syria became a Russian territory, much like we have Guam.
Well,
And-
you know about the European Mediterranean Union.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would just make sense that they're trying to unite their people. You know what I mean? They didn't give much thought about what the outcome, obviously. But, I mean, all Europe and the Mediterranean, I think Syria took themselves out of that union.
Yes, and Travis just put something in chat that I'm seeing where he put that Obama admitted to training ISIS. You're right about that, Travis. Man, that was a truthful slip. He didn't mean to tell us that, but he did. And he let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here we are, where medical professionals from across the spectrum, people that even are on the left side of the spectrum and those that kind of tend to be conservative, all say Hillary Clinton is sick.
Yeah.
She's ill. She's showing signs of serious illness. Now,
He really is.
yes, and they want her in office really bad
Yeah.
because she will continue on with the Project for the New American Century agenda.
It's easier to control, right? So.
Yeah, and I mean, even today, Dr. Steve Pachenik, who's worked for left and right people, and he's a medical practitioner. The guy's probably got an IQ off the charts. He was on with Alex Jones, and he said she's going to be dead within a year, but they got to get her in office. And I mean, you look at her. I saw a still today, or a quick little video today of her just trying to negotiate some stairs. I mean, it is craziness. And where is she? She's nowhere on the campaign trail.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to, if she gets in, this is probably one of the biggest, I don't want to know if I want to call it a hoax, but the biggest scams, if you will, that's ever been pushed on the American people. Because a lot of people are going to be pissed off when you hear a year from now, she's too sick to be president and everything else. And what they did to the people that actually said, hey, hello, she's sick. We got a problem here, Houston,
Because then once she's in and then she's too sick to actually do her duties, then they'll have to bring somebody in of their choice. Wouldn't that be the way it works?
Yes. They will bring in who they want right behind her and take over.
Well, I said back in March that it was my opinion that Hillary would leave the race and Biden was going to come in. I think it's too late for that. But what I've read about Tim Kaine is that guy is pure CIA. I mean, from way back when, even when he was working with the Jesuits down in Central America. I mean, so he is just like tailor-made and handpicked. He's not some benign little nice guy or anything like that. He's part of the club. He just is part of the club. And listen, ain't in it. No, and Trump and Trump's not in it. And I'm not. Listen, hold on. I'm not making the case for Trump, but it is very interesting that both the left and the right and the establishment media, the world establishment, they're telling people no Trump. I mean, that's got to tell you something about him that, quite frankly, is good.
Right.
It's good.
Right.
Well, because nobody knows really what they're going to get themselves into. I think Trump could tell you. I think Trump can lie really well.
I agree.
If he had to, you know what I mean? He's a little tricky.
He's a businessman, of course.
Tricky.
Oh, sure. He's a businessman. He's going to lie. He's going to, he's not going to be honest about everything.
Why?
There's no way.
He's a fucking hustler.
Right?
So look, it doesn't matter what they do, whether they bring in Trump, allow him, they're either going to control him or kill him.
Yeah.
They're going to do
That's
two things.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think he's got, I think even presently, right now, he's in the crosshairs. They're I'm sure they're trying to figure out how to get rid of him. And
the thing that bothered me about the debates the other night was when they asked him about race relations and stuff like that. The first thing he said was gun violence. The first thing he mentioned was gun violence.
I thought his answer was so weak with regard to that subject. I thought that he had a chance to really kick ass.
He really did.
But he dropped the ball.
He really did.
He dropped the ball a few times, I think, Jeremy.
Yeah, I do too.
He could have brought up the Clinton Foundation. He could have brought up Benghazi. He could have brought up all the other things.
Extortion of the American people.
But that didn't happen. So.
But on the flip side, he did things that haven't been done. He brought up the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
That was huge. He brought up trade. He reintroduced the American people to NAFTA and what it did to them.
NAFTA, right? TPP.
But that's easy stuff. That's easy stuff because
Well, hold on.
The economy is easy for him. It's the
Everybody, hold on.
aspect that he's not.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
think about this. Think about the fact that who was doing the interview. There's only one moderator
Yeah.
asking pre-planned questions about what the topic's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And getting hand
So
signals
right
from
there,
Julie.
it's a rigged game from the beginning. The debate is rigged from the beginning. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but he had to know with regard to, hey JG, he had to know with regard to the race issue that given what was going down in Charlotte and Tulsa and everything, that was going to be front and center. And I would have thought, you know what? Take ownership of that. Don't answer that question where it could be weaponized against you.
Yep. Exactly.
Right.
He's got to get on the level of the people, because if he doesn't, I mean, you can talk about the economy all you want, but that's not
Right.
going to Joe down the street who just, got out of the army and he's got no benefits. You know what I mean? He's got to get
Yes.
to the social level. We can't be talking about how we're going to fix the economy if the social safety nets and the social aspect of things aren't being addressed. These are systemic issues that have been going on for a very long time. And if we just keep throwing band-aids on them, nothing's going to get solved, right? But everything that he's talking about is all stuff that's going to benefit him. I mean, look at all the people. They all live in ivory towers. They don't know what's really going on the ground.
Well, but on the flip side, I'll say this to you, Mama, that Donald Trump doesn't need this, and he's walking into this already with more wealth than he could ever spend in his lifetime. So now the Clintons.
Don't you want to know that he's going to be helping you out? I mean, obviously.
Oh well,
he's going to be the one who's going to be the one to pick, because you don't know what you're getting. With Clinton, you already know what you're getting.
Yeah, and I can't. So the only thing I can tell you with him that intrigues me is that he does speak out against war.
Yeah.
That he does prioritize home first. He's not trying to be a globalist, if you will. That term Americanism, not populism, that's not racist. That's not closed-minded. That's not anything like that. That's basically saying, like, for example, you were talking about your son. You prioritize him and his wellness first and foremost. That's your station in life as a mom. There's nothing wrong with that. So to have a president that says, I want to put my country first, are you kidding me? That's awesome.
Yeah.
He said he won't even take vacations.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. He hasn't said anything, in my opinion, that's just my perspective. He hasn't said anything that's won me over yet. I mean, I like him just for the simple fact that he's not Hillary Clinton.
Right, and here's what there's a couple things going on, and this all ties into the conversation. It ties into what we're feeling spiritually, what's reverberating through all of us, that we know we're on the edge. We don't know what, but we know that, for example, WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
They're sitting on a ticking bomb. We know that for
I heard that he's supposed to come up with something next Tuesday or something. Some big announcement.
Yeah, so we know that they could strike a major blow into the Clinton campaign. Already they're hanging by a thread in many ways. We have another debate coming up. We have the United States has a looming war with the Russians, as we even have our Joint Chiefs of Staff mentioning war with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
We have the financial crisis that's taking place if Deutsche Bank goes down in Germany.
Yeah.
From what I've read, I'm not a financial expert at all, so I go by what I've read by experts, not YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But reading people that just drop facts. Remember what set off 2008 was Lehman Brothers. I didn't know that much about them, but so much of the money that funnels through all of our investments and retirements and things of that nature, Lehman was just a monster, okay? So they went down, and that's what triggered 2008's crash. Deutsche, from what I've read, if Deutsche goes down, you got a freaking global tsunami financially.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Well,
No.
it can. Let me say this. It can be twisted though, Jeremy. Um, you never know what they're gonna do, bro, because they always twist everything around. So what they're saying, some of it may not be exactly accurate, and I don't. I know the Deutsche banks. They have uh, whatever, how many trillions it is. But if you look at the whole picture, it's like maybe 7% of the total number. But so I don't know what that would do. And like I said before, I don't, I never knew they could do quantitative easing. I never heard of that term. So they always come up with these weird ways to manipulate stuff, keep kicking that can down the road. I believe eventually it's going to end. The,
Oh yeah.
the house of cards will come. Someone's going to pull the wrong one, and it'll probably be on purpose. They're going to do it on purpose. They're going to pull that card out, and it's going to bring the whole thing down. And I think they actually want that.
I think they have to do it.
Right. I think they want that to happen.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what the reset's about. That's what the New World Order is going to be about. Is going to be bringing in a new financial system, which is, if you have any, I don't know what you think about biblical stuff, but, it's going to be one world government. It's going to be one world currency, one world religion. They want one world everything.
Oh yeah, we're already right there. And whether you believe or not, I laugh at what John B. Wells has said. And he said, if these aren't the end times, they'll certainly do till the end times get here. So,
That's what I was saying. Like, we just don't know what's coming.
We don't know. What are they going to do next?
Speculate. We can speculate all we want, but we really don't know what's down the pike, right?
Exactly.
No, we don't. You never know. We could go down the rabbit hole of Planet X, Nibiru. Shit, we may just get wiped off before any of this shit pops off.
It's possible. There's so much information.
These are exciting times, folks.
There's so much disinformation.
Get some popcorn.
Yeah, get your popcorn, man. Oh, man. But really,
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty grateful to be alive.
I'm glad we're having fun. I'm glad we're having fun because we need to have fun and laugh and just like, you know what? Put your armor on and forget about it.
Yeah.
I mean, not forget about it, but just relax and not be so stressed because they're trying to get us worked up.
Yeah.
And they're doing a great job at it, actually.
Well,
I ain't got time for that. I'm sorry.
I get worked up if I sound like animated or excited. I get worked up, and one of the reasons that I get worked up when I'm in a conversation like this is because I absolutely love it. Because I love
adrenaline seeking.
It is, and I
get worked up too, Jeremy. It's okay. Have you heard me talk before? I'm actually kind of quiet tonight. I'm tired. But normally I pop off all the time.
But I love talking with you guys because, as you know, I'm sure the majority of people that are in your lives, your everyday real life, that you don't talk to them about this stuff because they can't, there's no synchronicity there.
Yeah.
So for some reason, we have this electronic synchronicity that has brought us all together, and so we vibe off that, and that's what I love. That's why I keep coming back.
Yeah, me too. Like,
hey Tom, there's that word again, vibes. I think Jeremy might be into the frequencies too.
Well, we're getting this vibe. Hey, something's coming. We just don't know what's coming. We really, truly don't know what's coming.
So exciting. So exciting.
Well, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm definitely not afraid of what's coming. I'm not, because because I don't know. I mean, I can speculate and make myself scared if I chose to do that, but I'm not.
Let's not be scared. Let's just take it one day at a time. God grant me serenity, accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Absolutely.
And use binaural beats.
Binaural beats, yes, Linda.
Every night.
Yes,
that's the only way to combat this shit.
That's how I call my son since he was a baby.
I'm trying to get Tom into it. I've been sending him links to some good ones.
Oh, really?
Well, I've been into it. Don't worry, Becky.
Mhm.
I've been into that.
Yeah.
Or Becky.
He talks with Becky all the time.
I'm talking to I'm talking to Becky. Becky's in chat, but it's okay, Becky. She's saying she's sorry. It's okay. I know you're tired. Get some rest, girl. But anyway, I agree with you. That's the thing. Spiritually or whatever it may be, that you can get a hold of that. You're right. I think there's something divine about all this stuff. I don't know what it is, but so I'm gonna look into that more.
For sure.
Well, yeah, it
Because
really works,
right?
Tom. It really, really works.
Yep, it sure does.
So what
And you
how
can
does
use
this
it
work?
for
Can
so
you
many
enlighten me a little
things.
bit? Can you guys enlighten me a little bit? You two?
They're healing frequencies. And
Yeah.
there's different frequencies. I'll send you a link that gives you each frequency and what it specifically works on in your body. It would be a little lengthy to get into explaining it to you right now.
If you
Okay.
understand like beta and gamma and delta and all those different frequencies,
Yeah.
and you can understand how it affects you, because it's gonna affect you differently than it would affect me, but you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
on a basis of understanding that these frequencies work on different levels and different so delta is for deep sleep, and
Oh, yes.
gamma is for excitation,
Okay.
so you get all these. If you want to stay awake while you're trying to do studying or research or something, you just play these waves and how that affects you. Then it gives you it's the Earth's frequencies. It's
So let me ask you. My biggest concern is sleep. What is that?
if you listen to delta,
Yeah.
right?
Delta.
You listen to the
Right.
delta wave for an hour, half an hour, 15 minutes before you go to sleep with headphones, though. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You'll get a much better sleep. I can guarantee you.
All right. Well, that's my problem. Sleep.
Mhm.
I can't shut my mind down.
Yeah. Oh, I have such a hard time with that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You lay in bed and you're thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, please, I want to count sheep. Don't,
Mhm.
God, please let me go to sleep. But I can't, and so I'm like up half the night, all night.
Yeah.
And I want to get some sleep, and I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good advice. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah. Alpha wave.
Semi.
I'm more of an alpha waves kind of person. I'm chill. You know what I mean? So I just like to stay neutral most of the time. So
Right.
I really dive the alpha waves.
But I want to ask Jeremy real quick. What's going on out in California with? I wanted to ask him what was going on with that shooting out there. If you with the
Well,
was
there's a
going on?
couple of things going on because there was a shooting today right near me in Pasadena. I mean, listen, there's shootings we're in Southern California, so the guns are ablazing all the time.
Yeah.
But today the cops killed somebody in Pasadena, California. There are actually protests taking place right now.
Really?
And yeah, and they were being streamed earlier on YouTube. The protesters were angry, and they were but they were completely different than what we've seen in Charlotte and in El Cajon, meaning San Diego, essentially. These people were really doing it peacefully. They were loud and trying to be heard, but they were. I respected it. I was like, that's what it's all about, right there. Not talking about breaking and burning stuff. Not an enormous amount of unnecessary profanity and stuff like that. They were just. It was very. What I saw so far was good. Whether or not you agree with it, it was good. But what happened today, what was very interesting is the guy that was killed by the police. I only know a couple little things, but one of the key things is he went at one of the cops with a fire extinguisher. And this was one of the, I know that was one of the things he had, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure they shot and killed him. I know he's dead. But what struck me when I heard about that is, and he happened to be black, and it drove out the local black community in Pasadena to come out because they're essentially saying he was unarmed. Well, I'll tell you this much. A few years back, New Year's Eve, we're at a party in Pasadena, and somebody slipped something into a friend of mine's drink. He snapped.
Yeah.
He left the party. He's outside. He goes over to an apartment complex nearby, begins to break windows. Okay.
Yeah.
And so now they bring out, LA County Sheriff comes out, and he's going crazy shit. He's never, I mean, this guy, not like that at all. I'll give you what he looks like. He looked at the time, a young Sammy Hagar, blonde, ripped. He was a rock climber. I mean, or he is a rock climber, just a good looking guy, and everybody likes him. So he grabs a fire extinguisher, goes at one of the sheriffs that comes near him, and he breaks the guy's arm. Okay, the other sheriffs are there. They had their guns drawn. They open up on him. So they shot him 5 times for coming at them with a fire extinguisher.
Right.
That's exactly what happened today. You know, but when that happened to my friend, you know, it was one of those things where you're going, well, you're not surprised because he's going at this guy with a fire extinguisher. He breaks one guy's arm and he's going at the others. You know, so, you know, and it was horrible and crazy, and, you know, but it was just really trippy. I'm going, wow, Pasadena, same exact situation with a fire extinguisher.
Right.
So,
Unbelievable.
but I
Yeah,
do, I'm
happens
sorry, go ahead.
It happens all over the place. I mean, the problem is the brutality that does happen is not being talked about because we're talking about black and white. That's why the actual issue of police brutality is getting swept under the rug, is because we're not talking about it.
No, but with that said, as we do need to talk about the militarization of police, that's fine. But you know
I
what?
talk about it. I talk about it.
But no, and that's perfectly fine. However, we got to talk about, we have some problems amongst the citizens of this country and
Yes.
amongst young people.
Absolutely.
And that people I really, listen, this is just me speaking. I believe that there is a spiritual war that is being waged as we speak. And I believe that there is a massive spiritual war that is just the most horrific demonic presence that is attacking the black community. And it is causing chaos, confusion, and everything that you can think of.
Wait. I am the black community.
Well, that's fine. But
So I don't think I mean, that's taken away from my personal experience. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, like I said, I get really defensive when people start talking for me as a black member of the society. I can tell you that there are things that the government does that will affect not just black people, but poor white people. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't.
It comes down to a class thing. When the gentrification happens, and you know, debtors' prisons, and you know, stuff like that. If you actually go,
listen, those are not things though that are causing the emasculation of men. It's not what's causing it doesn't, just because somebody's poor, it does not make them lose their moral compass. Okay, this is what's being waged. So when you look at things,
if you sit in a chat on somewhere on YouTube, where all it is vicious attacks from both sides constantly. These babies are so, their brains are so, you know what I mean? They just absorb. You know what I mean? Those are the types of things I'm talking about. When you hate another person over things you got on the internet, or the color of their skin, or somebody, you know what I mean, somebody else's experiences, you are indeed radicalized. It doesn't matter if it's Muslim, it doesn't matter if it's black, it doesn't matter if it's white. If you hate on another person because they're different from you, whether it be rich, poor, black, white, Muslim, Chinese, anything, you are indeed a radicalized human being.
Well,
Doesn't matter.
I
We can put that into context of this is what's happening to society.
well, and what Becky said in chat, she thinks it's the whole community, not just blacks. I don't disagree with that at all, Becky. However, what we're talking about right now is the shootings in these isolated areas,
Mm-hmm.
and the triggering the response, and what is happening in those areas where these shootings are taking place, who these people are that are being killed, how the community around them is reacting to the shootings. Like, for example, take Ferguson.
Oh,
Everything that we learned initially was we all took it at face value and thought, my God, this is horrible.
yeah.
As it turns out, the whole narrative was a lie. Everything. Hands up, don't shoot. A lie.
Oh, I tell you, I'm not walking down the street with my hands up in submission position.
Well, even if you're not,
Anybody.
even if it's not submitted, what I'm telling you though is that they apparently, this is now not my opinion, this is reading the findings of Obama's Justice Department, Eric Holder's Justice Department,
Mhm.
that the guy who got killed in Ferguson, that he had some fault in that. And so
Well, I think
my point is that people, that there are people that are innocently killed,
Mhm.
and there are people that are not innocently killed, and we have to be honest about that. If we call every killing corrupt, then we don't leave any way to have any kind of order in society.
Absolutely. I think people need to take responsibility for their own actions. Absolutely. And I can't disagree with that whatsoever, because, and it's only those ones that are put up on the internet, or the ones that are put in the media, that we're going to hear about. I don't even want those ones. You can almost guarantee that somebody's going to find fault in it. You know what I mean? On
Yes.
either side, on both sides. But those are the ones we shouldn't even be paying attention to. I want to pay attention to the ones that, you know, that don't get the media coverage. It doesn't excuse the fact or dismiss the fact that people are dying unintentionally, or, you know, even if the cop is just reacting, like this guy in Al Cajon, or whatever how you say it.
Yes.
You don't know if that cop that tased him first, because one cop tased, one cop shot. Who did the right thing? That's the question. Did the guy who tased him, did he follow protocol? Did he call out and say, you know, I'm using my taser like protocol so that somebody doesn't fire a sympathetic shot?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Those things have to come into question.
Yes.
Right? We don't know if the guy fired intentionally, or was it sympathetic fire? Was it reactionary? Was it, you know what I mean? We have
Yeah,
to
but see,
we
this
have
has
to
been
be
going on. Excuse me. This has been going on for a long time, everybody.
Yeah.
It's just that the more we have internet access, the more we see it. Because this is true that's been happening for a long time. It's just now that, and lately, that we're seeing more of it. And they're promoting it to cause more violence. Okay? Even if, and they should all be able to be held accountable for their actions. Don't get me wrong. But I think they're using this as a tool.
Yeah.
And believe me, they are.
And it's
They're
getting
not.
ready to get worse.
That's right. It's going to get worse.
Mhm.
It's going to get more amped up. More stuff's going to happen. We have our borders wide open. They're going to continue to come in. These people, I don't know who they are, and I'm not going to label anybody or judge anybody, but these things are happening right in front of us now, and
Well,
so they're going to
don't you think the timing of this handing over of the internet is awfully
right on,
suspicious?
right on cue, right on
I
cue. All
mean,
this is.
right before the elections?
And all the look, the stuff going on in okay, the bombing thing in New York, New Jersey. You've got
Mm-hmm.
the stabbings. You've got the shootings. You've
Mm-hmm.
got everything else going on right now.
Every day. Every
Every single
day.
day, it's a diversion. Oh, and all this stuff is happening on purpose. These
And we're
people,
running out of gas.
they're not stupid. These people, they have these plans already in place. It's all going on, and if people don't believe that, that's fine. You don't have to believe that. It's just my opinion that they are setting all this up for something. And I don't know what it is, what they're doing exactly, because I can't know. Because I'm not sitting in their meetings. But they are doing stuff to divert America, to get us scared, so they can take our sovereignty away, our freedoms away, our freedom of speech away, this internet where we can talk and speak freely is going to be censored. Apparently, it already is because
Mm-hmm.
you're not seeing my videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, see,
Right.
they're already doing it.
Mhm. Well, I mean, I guess I can afford to stay neutral because I'm in Canada. I'm not, you know, but ding,
I mean, I don't know what to say.
sure. You
She's
know what I
looking,
mean?
she's praying. All right. Linda sent me the screen share photo of my channel with no content on it. How is that possible? Why is it only her that, you know, because other people sent me, they see everything.
Because I say too much.
Well, what's up with that? Huh? Is that
Yeah,
Freedom
censorship
of
and
speech
or
is
what?
dead.
Vegas flips. You put something in chat where I said each police situation that ends in a death should be made public, and when the police are caught murdering someone, we should protest no matter what race they are. Man,
Right.
exactly. That will give so
I
much
totally
more.
agree. That's
Yeah,
why it bugs me when people say, "Well, we don't go there and protest every time a white person's killed," but that's not my problem.
yeah.
Go do it then.
Well, it has nothing to do with
You know,
color or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with lives and
in
humanity.
general, yes, lives in general. That's what I said. All lives matter started as a counteraction to Black Lives Matter. Before Black Lives Matter, nobody was saying all lives matter. Nobody stood up for all lives. So if you want
This is
all
true.
lives to
And
matter, if you want all lives to matter, then start saying standing up for all lives then.
yeah, this is true. And I agree with you, Mama, because, and I kind of get annoyed by the all lives matter thing because I know what it is. It's just like it's a, like a political dog whistle, you know, and
It
It
is.
is.
I'm kind of like, you know, listen, I'm not going to participate in your little all lives matter game.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
No.
Black Lives Matter, I think that the majority of people that participate in Black Lives Matter, they're legit and their heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that Black Lives Matter was a hoax on them,
Mhm.
and that they're being used and as game pieces.
Mhm.
and and so, like, enter right now, it's a perfect time. That game piece, those organizations are getting hundreds of millions of. Imagine if George Soros was putting the amount of money into school lunch programs,
You
into
know,
sending people to college,
right?
as
How long can
opposed
he
to,
live?
oh, holy God! I mean, he is the emperor from Empire Strikes Back.
And
I
he'll jump
know.
on any opportunity. When that happened with Mike Brown and all that stuff, that he saw that as an opportunity. Like I said, he's the ultimate predator.
This guy, this is
Will
what's
not let
crazy
down.
about him. He's a Jewish guy from Europe who was a snitch during World War II and snitched out fellow Jewish people to the Nazi
Right?
party.
Yes.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
He can't live much longer. He's got to be on the brink. I mean, my God, he looks like he's dead.
Well, so does Hillary,
Yeah.
but she's still
Yeah,
alive.
well, I give her 3 months.
Yeah. They won't let they won't let a crisis go to waste. They're going to use it to their best
No.
opportunity. If they
Listen,
can.
speaking of crises, before I lose this thought, Tom, how is your gas down there? We're out of premium and mid grade up here.
No,
Really?
we're okay.
Yeah, I thought they were supposed to fix that shit.
Well, no, we have gas, and matter of fact, the prices are pretty low. Which
No, ours
is
have gone
weird.
up.
Yeah, ours isn't, and it's weird. You think
It's
it would
gone
be the
up.
same? Right. See, I think that's
Mm-mm.
manipulation too. It's another created crisis that they can interact with, so they can use the fuel prices for northern states, and they can jack it up there, and then they're kind of leaving ours alone for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't.
Not ours. I went to several gas stations, and everybody was out of mid grade and premium.
Why is that? Do you know?
Because
Well,
the
we had a
pipeline,
pipeline break, but that's been 2 weeks ago,
right?
and allegedly it was fixed.
They're manipulating it. Trust me.
Yeah. They're
I
definitely
said
Just a
allegedly.
manipulating it.
manipulation.
They said OPEC was finally putting their prices down or something, or gonna start. Oh, something I read today. It was about OPEC are gonna stop um oversaturating the market or undersaturating it or something like that. But it has to do with OPEC anyway.
Yeah. You know what, guys? This is crazy because all this is happening. Meanwhile, the the world's on fire.
It is.
The world's on fire, and
Like I said, that's our biggest concern right now. And that should be our biggest
it's a
focus right now.
global thing. My concern is globally and what's happening with the economics, what's happening with us killing all these children. Our government, man. I mean, are you happy to be an American when you know that we're killing and bombing all these people with drones and everything else and using phosphorus ammunition on these people, which
They're
is
You
using
burning
have
them
to
all?
be happy to be an
they're
American,
using
Tom.
chemicals on their own citizens every time they throw in some tear gas. They're using
I'm sick
chemicals
of it.
on their own citizens. So I don't know.
Well,
What I worry. I think what I worry about the most is that everybody's going to be so um, divided, and nobody's going to have any compassion left to actually have each other's back when needed.
but you
Yeah,
know what?
that is so true. That's so true.
That is so true. You know what it is? The evil of the world. It's evil, okay, guys? It's total evilness. They are so evil, and they are wrecking everything on purpose. And I don't know what you guys believe as far as faith goes, but I do know this. There's evil in the world, and there's good in this world. The evil right now, because this is Lucifer's place, as far as I'm concerned, he's running this stuff. And he's gonna kill. Look, look what's happening, man. I mean, look at Syria and the children and the kids. I mean, it burns me up. I I can't sleep at night because all the kids that are being killed and the families,
Hmm.
they're witnessing it. Can you imagine being there,
No,
watching your children being
I would
blown up?
I would be insane. I would be insane. I mean, I worry about my nephews. I worry, you know what I mean, out there. And I may be
Over
wrong, but
what?
I got
Over
nephews that are white as the driven snow, and there's some they're thugs. I got a nephew out there that is a straight up thug, white as the driven snow. You know what I mean? But I worry about him getting shot every day, but not by the cops. I worry about him getting shot because he's being a thug. You know what I mean?
right,
It
I
doesn't matter who comes at my nephew, it's still going to kill me if he gets shot.
hmm
You know, I'm going to be out there making a ruckus.
see this thing. We have to realize how to come together as humanity. We're not doing it. People are on the internet fighting over some stupid crap all the time.
Oh my god.
Oh my God! I'm looking at these people going, "What in the freaking is wrong with you? Our world is crumbling around us, but yet you
Exactly.
want to
And that's
fight
all you
over
got to think about. You
Mm.
got
all you got
nothing
to do."
better to do.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you, Linda. Is
Mhm.
attack
It's just,
these stupid? Come on, guys.
they're paid, Tom. They're the ones that are fucking paid.
Mm.
Let's get it straight. I mean, there's it's.
But what is that
I don't
for?
even see. We shouldn't even be talking about it because we're wasting our breath. It's not even worth it.
Well, what is that worth? Those people who want to go around and attack and the trolls and all this stuff want to attack good people. They can just go on and do whatever they want. I don't really care about that. I'll laugh about it.
Well, they call
I'll
us
laugh.
trolls.
you know.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's what's
we
so
did.
funny is they're calling us trolls and we're calling them trolls.
Oh, I'm straight up troll.
Yeah, I mean, we're all. I mean, just being
Troll.
in.
I have my own opinion, so I'm already
And it's
classified
guilt
troll.
by association in this shit right now.
Right?
All right, Jeremy, what do you think on it? I want to get your thoughts.
About
You've
what?
been interviewed before. About the troll thing.
Well, what's? I'm sorry. What specifically?
But why do you think all of this happening? Why do you think there's so many trolls? Why do you think they're attacking truth
They're
channels?
paid. They're paid, Jeremy.
I do. Okay. I don't necessarily agree with the pay thing.
No, I
I
don't.
I do believe that there are some paid bots out there. They're more targeting political factions as opposed to thing. We talk about stuff. If you're like, for example, if you just stumbled onto this stream tonight and you're listening to us and you've listened to how we've gone all over the map and we've been like herding cats, you kind of think we're all partially nuts. and yet we're not. Mama's completely sane and she's got it down and her thoughts are great. I mean, everybody does. So but the trolling is, there are people that just really, the internet has done, it's unleashed something in us, and it's something that isn't necessarily good. We have taken advantage of our anonymity,
I totally
and
agree. Yeah.
we push our frustrations out, and generally the faults that we see the most because they live within us, and we find them and we antagonize the people that manifest those faults more than maybe others. And
Yeah.
so we attack out of jealousy, we attack out of I think a lot of it is jealous driven, and but it's internal. It's that ability to be anonymous, to think that you're being bold and everything, but really you're not. You're diminishing yourself.
Hmm.
And so that's the part of the internet and
And
communities
a
and
lot of
forums that I don't like.
a lot of people don't realize that what they're putting out is a reflection of themselves. And
There was
I don't know. I have to. I try and take. Try and do everything with as much integrity as possible. You know. I want to. I want to reflect how I feel inside or who I am inside. And when I see somebody projecting their inner fears and their inner, vulnerabilities online, um, I, I'm hoping that they're reading it back to themselves and reflecting on that.
Well, they're not.
I know you can only
That's
hope, right?
so key, Mama, that what you just said, because I will admit, not anytime, more like a few years ago, more like around between 2010 into 2013ish, I was I was doing that with my anonymity. I thought I was, Joe Cool, taking on and being a mousepad warrior, and I was, I'm ashamed. I think I was an asshole, and I mean, there was definitely a portion of my life. I mean, especially all the way through the '90s, I was in real life. I was a complete dick,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm ashamed of a good portion of that in that time. So I'm with you. I don't want to be fake. you know,
Yeah,
and I
sure.
and I want to learn from even my experiences here.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think we've all been there. I mean, it took me a long time to get to where I am. We all have growth, personal growth, but I think I mean, our vulnerabilities need to be out there so that we learn from them, right? I mean, but if you, it's when you don't learn from it, that's scary. That's scary.
No doubt.
Hmm.
It is. I want to tell the guys, Travis and Vegas, and I saw some JG in there too, that I've been reading some of your postings intermittently, and those guys are saying some
Uh-oh.
good thoughts inside a chat too. I mean, definitely, this is a good conversation because sometimes you can look at, you hear what's going on audibly, and then you look at chat, and chat's completely different, and sometimes even a little bit ugly. There are good substantive thoughts
Uh-oh.
coming out of chat too, so that's super cool.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it's a good chat room tonight. Thank you guys. Thank you,
Yeah, no
Vegas,
problem. And
Becky,
I think having
everybody.
a different perspective, I love getting people's different perspectives, right? Because it gives you a little insight of what, what's around you. Like I said, everybody has different experiences in life. You know what I mean? And that drives what our perceptions are going to be, you know? I mean, that's our first, usually our starting point is what our experiences has already been in life. So that's our starting point. When we get into worldly issues, you know what I mean? We take those. I like looking at other people's perspectives because it gives me an idea of, okay, his life was probably way different than mine. You
That
know,
is
I can't
that
judge him. I can't
More
judge him
insight.
on,
More insight.
I can't judge him when I don't know what his experiences were. You know,
What gives you more insight?
yeah, like that's how debates happen, right?
Well, you know what, Mama? It wasn't until the internet that I actually started to think like that. I was
Hmm.
very close-minded,
Yes.
and I kind of came out of that funk over the years of going into certain communities. And they say the older that we get are the more that our minds close. Thank God mine has
Yeah.
gone the opposite direction.
Yeah,
I
me too.
disagree with that.
Me
And
I
too.
mine,
disagree with
no,
that.
well, I don't agree with it because mine, I'm going the opposite direction. My vision, I'm looking through a wide angled lens. I'm looking at people differently. The
Yes.
ability to communicate with people, I've gained a little bit more there. So for that, I'm thankful for my experience on the internet, that it has opened my mind to all sorts of perspectives and to people and thoughts, and like what we were talking about earlier with frequencies and things like that.
Yes.
I love that stuff. We would have never been exposed to that really had it not been for the web.
No, that's what I said.
True.
My sister was over the other day, and she's talking to people online. I said, "Do you know how different they are up there, Tina?" She goes, "No." I said, "Very different." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their mindset. You know what I mean? They have a different mindset than we do. We've had no guns here for. We've had. You know what I mean? Like it is a different culture. Than we are here. And even though we're so much alike, we're so different at the same time. And it's been just an amazing eye opener for me, you know. And I
I
didn't,
love I love Canada.
yeah, Canada's great.
Oh, I love it. I spent last in 2015. I was working in Vancouver for 6 weeks, and I fell in love.
Hmm.
It was awesome.
Yeah, my daughter's driving through right now, BC. She's just that Banff Jasper drive between Jasper. She stopped I don't know how many times just to send me a Snapchat because
Mhm.
she had to take pictures every 2 miles.
Oh yeah, people.
Beautiful.
If anybody here, if you ever have a chance to see the Canadian border up by what Mama just mentioned, Banff.
Hmm.
Wow,
Yeah,
there's God's country right there. It,
beautiful.
yeah.
Oh yeah, just beautiful. And we're losing our boreal forest and stuff like that to logging, mining, and It's pretty sad, but
Yep.
pretty sad.
But hey, Tom, with regard to the trolls, let's say the trolls here on YouTube, right? I have responded to them differently. I don't feel the need to put on the boxing gloves, you know. And also I got to say that some of their stuff, I mean, I see humor in it. They make me laugh. The video about me, I told China to straight out. I'm like, dude, you crack me up. And
I don't fight them either, Jeremy. I don't
yeah,
do it.
yeah, and I don't. I wish to. I actually, you know, I'm like,
I haven't even seen that, and I probably will never watch that, so it doesn't even really matter. So,
right.
just a funny thing.
And
Well, you
isn't
should.
he
It's funny.
Canada from Canada anyway.
It's
Yes.
stupid. Yeah, he's from Canada.
It's a funny thing. I don't even care about the trolls.
Hmm.
I have no clue. I don't care. Make what you do. Say what you say. You know, blast it out all over.
Well, let me say something about the trolls, and there's a couple that come to mind. I think some of these people are very smart, and
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
and they're truth seekers. Now, they are seeking truth so hard that they really are seeing a conspiracy behind every single bush.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
And so this kind of causes them to look through, maybe their filter, their lens isn't as clear as it should be. But I
Right.
honestly can say
Follow
some of
that.
these guys are very smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh, yeah.
much
I think-
intelligence. So much
Yeah.
intelligence
agree.
that sometimes it's shocking, you know what I mean? That they're not
It's
quite.
sad.
Yeah, they need to
It's-
just polish it up a bit.
No, what's sad is that if they could spend as much time
On their wasted
listening
time.
to us, trying to come to an agreement with us and quit fighting us and learn from each other, think about how much good you could do.
Mm.
But no, let's waste our time and make fucking stupid videos saying I'm working with Ben Time Traveler. Come the fuck on, people. I never met Ben Time Traveler in my life. I've talked to him through comments, and that's it.
Mm.
I honestly think, though, that some of those things are made up simply
course.
wanting the reaction. It's like a game, you know, it's like it's trash talking. And so they do that. And it's like, okay, I'm going to make this video. I'm totally going to make fun of you. I'm going to troll you. He superimposed my head over Alex Jones's. I mean, I was
know,
like,
I
that
saw
was
it. I
awesome.
saw it. Do you know what I said to him when he made the video, Jeremy? I said
What?
3 words, and this was my only comment in the comments. Nice, China to nice.
You know what? That's just
That's
a
all I
hilarious thing. Let that go, man. That's so stupid.
Oh, I did let it go. Now, let me be honest. There are some friends that I want to forward it to, but then I won't be able to explain it. So they're going to be like, what the heck is that? What does this all mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, I just wanted to make people laugh and go, look, people are even making videos about me on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
you
I
want
know
to
what kind of
do
person.
something.
Know what kind of person? I mean, you might not like what some people have to say on the internet, but to retaliate in such a hurtful manner to separate other human beings from, I don't know. I don't know how to explain China.
Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
What it is.
Mm.
Divide and conquer. That's what they're going to do.
I don't get it.
I know. But they're going to continue to do so.
Mhm.
Divide and conquer over idiotic things to try to wreck the message.
Right.
That, you know, we have a good message about freedom and about the republic.
I think
keeps saying
everybody-
democracy.
But I
They
think,
hate
It's
patriots.
democracy.
yeah, everybody has their own
Patriots,
way of
whatever. I'm sick and tired of.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm sick and tired of people going, "Well, this is democracy." You know, do you not realize it's a republic? Do you understand what this country was founded on? Do you understand anything? I don't get it. So our society
so
is so messed
clouded.
up.
History is clouded for everybody. I think
Oh.
your history might be different from somebody
Well,
else's.
that's
You know
it,
what I
and I
mean?
say that a
History
lot
clouded.
because it's
Nobody knows the
his
truth
story.
anymore.
It's his story. His story.
Well, hold on, because Mama actually brings up a great point, and that history is always told by the winners.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That doesn't make it accurate.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's his story.
yeah.
Are you listening?
Yes, I
It's
am.
his story. Because it's his story. It's not, that the victor is the one who it's been writing history
That's right.
and putting it into everybody's mind that that's exactly how it happened. Well,
Yeah.
that's not how it happened. So go back in history and actually understand what really happened, and then come out with your own opinion. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything written, everybody has to realize too that everything that is written by somebody's perspective, by somebody's opinion. You know what I mean? It doesn't make everything accurate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, I could write a story tomorrow and about something that happened yesterday, and somebody could read it 10 years from now and say, oh well, that's accurate.
Well,
You know what I
certainly
mean?
reference the Bible for that. I
Accurate
mean, the
in
King
my
James
world,
version and so forth.
you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the problem. The history isn't accurate.
Mm-mm.
Not accurate at all.
Oh.
It's what they're telling you what they did. Well, what they did is something different than what really they're lying to you about the story, what happened.
You can
And-
read one thing today and read the exact same thing tomorrow, but written by somebody else, and it could be a completely different story. So,
Right. So we're here we are with his story again.
yeah.
Now it's something. It's not history because when they teach you this stuff in school,
Mm.
that's not true. Most of the stuff they teach in school is a fallacy. It's not even real.
Yeah.
And
That's what I
so-
always say. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Right. I wasn't
I
there.
wasn't there.
How do I know what happened? Right. And so then they lie, and then they're using that manipulation to get people to believe that this is what happened.
Yep.
When it really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame, but that's what happens.
Well, this is why we're, excuse me, we're living in a time where we're controlling the history. We're controlling the messaging, the storytelling, and we have the ability we see things and the media will show us one thing, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, hold on. Somebody else was shooting that with a mobile phone or whatever. We already can see that. We found that,
That's how today's it's going to be more honest, because it's in scripture. It does say that everything will be shown. It will be shown.
Yeah, but
Truth will
still,
be
people
shown.
are going to look at that video. They're still going to be looking at the video, and they could see something totally different. We see that
Sure.
fight every day.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They will. They will. They will. I
So
agree.
it's because they're already biased in their opinion, right? So
True.
they're going to make it damn well sure they're going to find out the proof to back them up.
See that what you just said, that's so key, because I came out of being like a really hardcore Republican, and I can honestly say that the big change that started from within me was post 9/11, and so much
Right.
started to change after that. And as I began to go down the rabbit hole, I looked at all sorts of things that had to do with my faith, things that had to do with political paradigms, and realizing, and starting to listen, I was like, I remember that I was listening to a lot of right-leaning media. And then you guys remember when Air America came on the radio, and they had their network, and all of these hosts that were coming from the left were on now. And even Rachel Maddow used to be on the radio. And let me tell you something, when she was on the radio, she was a different Rachel Maddow, and she was actually great. She was a truth teller. But I started to listen to both sides. and I was going, whoa, I am finding a lot of common ground with people that I have been conditioned not to listen to at all.
Yes.
And so now I'm listening to them and I'm going, yeah, there's a lot of great things you're saying here. And it just kind of like I felt like, the onion was getting peeled back. So it's
And there's so
important,
many
it's
layers,
challenging.
right? There's so many layers to all of us. You know what I mean? We can't be rigid. We have to be open and, we have to be sponges. We have to keep getting the information from all sides. That's why I don't jive with the Republican Democrat division, because really there has to be common ground.
Yes. Now, it doesn't mean that there are some things that you're going to, like positions that we hold true in our hearts, that may have an alignment with one side or the other.
Yeah, but that has more to do with your own personal self than
exactly
than anybody else, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, truth. It's being spoken right here. You guys are saying the truth. So keep going. I love it. I love it,
I
Jeremy.
could keep going, but I have to get my butt to bed because my son, I have to give him medication. It's 2:26 a.m. here.
Well,
It is here too.
Well, you guys do need to get to bed, but sometime, Mama, I mean, I've never conversed with you before, and it was nice talking with you and hearing your views. I don't know if you've done this before, but whether Tom wants to do it or I'd love to do it on my channel or whatever, is for you to tell your story about bringing up somebody with autism and
Sure, yeah.
from the whole chronology from the beginning to present day.
Okay. Yeah, it's been
That's awesome. Great idea.
It's continuing. It's a continuing saga.
Yeah.
It's an awesome idea, Jeremy. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Thank you, man, for bringing that up, because that's important. We need to care about each other. We need to think about each other, which we're not doing. And we're doing it here. Okay, that's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
But it's not happening other places. People are not doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's important. You know what I mean? I think it is important
because all of us should care about each other.
Absolutely. And I'm all for it. If I can educate anybody on mental health and neurological disorders and stuff like that, I'm all for it. Because the more awareness we're going to have, the better things are going to turn out for my son.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there are a lot of people still, even though autism is at epidemic levels, and it continues to grow, that I have a bunch of questions for you, but also that people need to know, like, that you have, that one day is never the same as the previous.
No, it's never the same.
And that I'm quite sure there are days where you are mentally, spiritually, and physically tired. And so people need to know about that, because the more we're going to have more autistic children amongst us, and they're going to be autistic adults.
Yes.
And so, they're going to be our fellow citizens.
Yeah. And people have to realize that they don't act like a normal person. So
right.
As long as people continue to treat people with neurological disorders as if they, made a wrong move or this or that the other way, it's because they don't live in the same world that we live in. Their reality is completely different than ours. So you can't interpret one person's actions. They may look normal, but their actions may be totally abnormal.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
well, I would love to do that sometime, and I'm sure Tom may know how to get a hold of you and whatnot, and we can set up something in the very near future. I think that would be just great.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Add me to Google Plus or whatever, and
yeah, we will, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
This is important stuff that we're talking about.
I agree.
I think that it's very important, and that people do not leave this topic, because it's so important for our future. our children are being manipulated, and we can talk about so many things, guys. We can
Hmm.
talk about vaccines. We can talk about what's going on with the vaccine.
Yeah,
We can
the
talk
biggest
about
thing is we have to stop manipulating each other, though.
right. We need
You
to come together.
know, more so. I mean, the government manipulates, but we manipulate each other just as much.
No, really, we need to come together, and
Hmm.
that's the point. That's my objective
Yeah.
to having you, Jeremy, Lynn, anybody on here is to become together. We need to come together and respect each other, and even if our opinions may differ from subject to whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't. We should just come together and become good people that we know we are,
Hmm.
and we are. There's some great
Absolutely.
people out here. Jeremy's a great guy. I thank God that he came on here tonight. So
He is really great. I really loved having
Jeremy's a great
discussions with
guy.
I've never got to talk
Linda,
to Jeremy.
him. Yeah,
yeah,
it's amazing.
Linda, Becky, all these people are good people,
Hmm.
and we just need
Well,
to come together. That's what we can do.
I'm just a little crazy, but I'm still good.
oh, I'm grateful.
I know you're a little
Grateful.
crazy.
I'm grateful for the crazies.
Yeah, me too. I love a little bit of crazy in everybody. That means you're alive.
Me too.
Howdy doody, baby.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
been a
I'm gonna
great
head
show.
out. I'm gonna head out, guys.
It's been a great thing.
Okay.
Great night.
So we're
Good
gonna
night, Mama.
Good
Take
night.
care.
Okay.
thank you,
Hey,
everybody. I love you.
Becky, I've seen you in the chat. I just haven't. I really have
Becky's
a
a
hard time with.
wonderful person.
I'm in the
You need
dark.
to talk to Becky.
Yeah, I'm in the
Shit.
dark, so I can't type in the dark. I'm really bad at it. So.
I think she's asking to give a one. Everybody give a one, or something. But Becky's awesome. She's a good person, and so is everybody else in here. So
Great.
I want
For
to say
having me,
this:
Tom.
I love you guys so much. My heart is with you, and I mean that for real. My heart is with all you guys. Keep doing it. Don't stop. And thank you so much for being on here. Jeremy, thank you. Linda, thank you. Mama, thank you. And I just want to I bless you all and move on one day at a time, guys.
Yep. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Stay
Thank
blessed,
you,
y'all.
Jeremy.
Good night.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, Jeremy. Bye, Tom. Bye, Mama.